You were commenting on the fans of 2KW and NEW, and you were commenting also about the children that do show up there. Now, obviously, the children, as you've stated before, have become somewhat of a problem. You've said interfere with your commentary and whatnot and getting in the way. What do you feel about that? And is there any way you can see of resolving this problem?
The most classic moment I ever had was when, okay, not many people know this unless you actually go there live. I do a lot of things. I commentate, I'll do camera work, I'll wrestle, I just do a bunch of different things. And it just so happened that I had to do camera work for the world title match between Czech and Salo. I literally gave Syph the camera, took the tag title, and swung it at the little kids. Recklessly and violently, I said, get the out of the way. Okay? Then the second time around, they did this crazy spot where it was like a clothesline that went over the slide. Alright? I didn't get too much of a good angle of that, right? But as I'm trying to literally go down the slide to go over where the two of them were at, next thing you know, I'm like, get the out of the way. Get the out of the way. I'm just going crazy on these little kids. I don't mind little kids coming to the show, you know. But it's like I've said to people, like, if somebody, I don't care if it's your mother, somebody's child, if it's you, if there's somebody that's in the way of our camera shot, because people love to do that a lot. They love to just walk by past the camera. I mean, unless you have like great knockers or something, then you can get away with it. But you know, on a serious level, if you're going to do that, I think we should be given the right to tackle you. Yes, it is a free park, but come on, have a little bit of consideration, a little bit of respect. Okay? Alright? I don't see anybody doing any suplexes onto somebody's little child, okay, that's like 3 years old. That's ridiculous if somebody was to do that. And we don't do that stuff.
Let me get back to 2KW Superstars, 2KW Action. We've had many champions this year, championship titles switching and whatnot. Any particular opinions on any 2KW or NEW champions from the last year?
Let's see. If you're going to talk about NEW or 2KW, let's go NEW first. Earl Vicious has been the Air World Champion for quite a while, since we brought back NEW. Now, Manny was supposed to have a decent run as the NEW champion. And then I decided to put the belt on Vicious, because I basically wanted to heel as the champion for a while. And it just so happened that he, you know, he's never trained with us. He pretty much learned by himself how to take bumps. There are guys that'll sit back and say, well, oh, this guy's not talented. And then it's like, you look at their matches and like, how dare you even sit there and say anything like that related? Because Earl Vicious, to me, is a very good wrestler. I wrestled him on numerous occasions, so I would know personally. If I had the opportunity to bring that match to 2KW between me and him, I'll do it. You know, let's see. Anything else in NEW? Whiplash as the NEW World Champion. Now, most people are used to seeing Whiplash run with Chris Cage, like as if he's behind Chris Cage all the time. What people need to realize is that Whiplash, without Chris Cage, or with Chris Cage, is still a very talented wrestler. Okay? He's not a big speaker, but if you want to see good wrestling, that's the guy they'll give it to. Whether he was the tag team champion of 2KW, the European champion of 2KW, or the NEW World Champion, Whiplash was just good at what he was able to do. Because everybody wanted to see Whiplash. And not just Peggy. Sorry, I had to rip you there, huh? I had to. Let's go with 2KW. Mike Golston was world champion for 8 long months. Nobody respected Golston as champion. Nobody even wanted to acknowledge him as champion. But you know what? Regardless if you loved him or hated him, you came there each and every week to see him lose. Guess what? Contrary to what you may believe, you were interested in seeing Golston wrestle. because you wanted him to drop that belt. And guess what? It took you 8 months to continue to watch, whether it be there actually at the park or on YouTube. Okay? Golston was a real world champion. I don't know the guy like that. I'm not his best friend, and I'm not kissing his ass. It's the truth. Czech as world champion, he did his very best to go out there and entertain. Mind you, like I said before, we don't get paid for anything it is that we do. Okay? His real name, Macho, went out there and killed himself time and time again in different matches. You know, banged up his knee, banged up his shoulder, you know, wrestled with a hurt shoulder using that same arm. Okay? There are guys that'll wrestle on the show and complain about how badly they are hurt, but then, you know, in return, just, you know, just keep complaining about it, thinking that, you know, well, if I'm hurt, I'm going to get the push. No, you get your push because you've earned it. And Czech earned it. Now, in a way, I can't talk. I shouldn't talk, but I'm going to say it. In a way, he wasn't too much of a man's man as a champion because, you know, when Golston was world champion, he showed up on time. Czech as world, I mean, because when you're put as the figurehead, as you're the top guy and the main dog as world champion, you know, you got to set an example for the rest of the guys. At times, he didn't do that. But other than that, when it came to performing, he bust his ass. My favorite tag team champions of 2KW, I'm definitely not going to say myself and Murder because we haven't had too much of time to defend the belts because of either, you know, Murder's hurt or, you know, we get put in the dark, which is not a big deal for me if we get put in the dark because if I show up late, like I normally do, then fucking I'm late. Let's see. Favorite tag team champions were William Black and Hollywood. Regardless if I was managing them or not, their matches were that entertaining. And there's no way in hell you can turn away from a William Black match. Okay? Not saying that I'm not giving Hollywood any type of credit, because I did and I am. But you just can't turn away from that. TV champion. All three of the guys that have held the belt this year are great TV champions. You can't turn away from Angel Ortiz. You can't turn away from Chris Cage. You damn sure are not going to turn away from Ray Sexy. Only thing I wish is that Ray Sexy would just, you know, stick away from his matches with Kid Carnage. And, you know, because he'll wrestle anybody, I think, and I believe. But, you know, I just wouldn't want to see Ray Sexy versus Kid Carnage for the, dare I say, 12th millionth time. Tired of it. Period.
Do you prefer personally to wrestle as a singles competitor or a tag team competitor?
Well, when you say it like that, I mean, let's see. I was a part of a group and I was barely wrestling at the beginning of the year after my little feud with Grifter, which I had a lot of fun doing. Then I just kept moving on until like I just felt like nobody was really paying attention. And then as a joke, somebody got the fans to boo me. As a joke, as I'm a baby face, you people booed me. I mean, I'm not hurt by it. You know, I really want to do the whole babyface rule, and then it just got killed off for me. And then I did the whole heel thing. You know, originally what I had wanted to do was the whole Bacardi and Cola thing, the way we did it when we were in AGW. It doesn't matter for me to mention a whole background story behind AGW because right now it doesn't matter. No disrespect to Manny Biggs, AJ Orsini, or Hollywood. Brandon, that is. Hollywood Brandon. Don't get it confused. You know, bring the whole gimmick there. But we couldn't do that. So, you know, I don't mind being a singles or tag team wrestler. It doesn't bother me at all. You know, I'm going to try to showcase myself regardless.